Many of us knew that Blackpink were held back by YG Entertainment, but the extent of these restrictions only became clear after the members left the company. Here are a few things YG Entertainment prevented Blackpink members from doing despite them wanting to. Whenever Blackpink fans would complain about the members' lack of comebacks or activities, people would say that maybe it was what the members wanted, maybe they wanted to make a comeback once every 2 years, maybe they wanted to focus more on partnerships with brands than on their music, and maybe they chose not to go on music or variety shows. However, the way they've been acting ever since they left the company tells us a lot more about how things worked for the 7 years the girls were under YG. Once the girls' individual contracts with the company ended, everyone was excited to see their next moves. It was unknown whether they'd continue being idols or venture into other industries, but either way, people were curious to see what they'll do. Jennie was the first one to make a move, as she announced that she had started her own company called Odd Atelier so she could handle her own individual activities, and she's been doing a great job so far, especially considering how many activities she's been doing in the few months since joining her new label compared to her time at YG. Back in October, it was announced that she would be making her return to Korean variety shows after 5 years, as she would be taking part in the upcoming TVN show Apartment 404. She's going to be a fixed cast member, and as mentioned, it had been 5 years since she appeared in variety shows, so the fact that she would be a part of Apartment 404 not as a guest but as a fixed cast member came as a big surprise. Mind you, at the time of the announcement of her joining the cast, nobody had any idea if the girls were planning to renew with YG, so her appearance in Apartment 404 hinted that she might be done with the company, as YG continuously prevented Jennie from appearing on variety shows. Once the news about Odd Atelier came out, she was also the first guest on Lee Hyori's music talk show. Jisoo also established her own company with the help of her brother, and the first thing she did after the news came out was appear on Lee Hyori's channel. What these recent updates did is let us know that the girls wanted to be on variety shows all this time but simply couldn't. There was just something stopping them, and that something was YG Entertainment with their old strategy of making their idols sound exclusive and too good for variety shows. Once the girls got famous enough and internationally popular, YG wanted to label them as exclusive and unreachable, so they stopped doing things other idols normally do. When Blackpink went on Knowing Bros back in 2020, Jennie shared that she had asked the company to send them to more variety shows, but the company insisted that they needed to rest even though they were inactive most of the time. It's believed that the girls received a lot of invitations to variety shows, especially since they'd expressed multiple times that they'd like to go, but YG shut them down. Jennie was publicly invited to appear in Sixth Sense a few years ago, but that never ended up happening. Saw Jang-hoon of Love Naggers also said the show's team had contacted YG to get Rosé to make an appearance on the show, but the company never responded to them. Now they can attend as many variety shows as they like. Since Rosé and Lisa have yet to announce their new ventures, we're looking forward to seeing the girls on more shows this year. However, variety shows aren't the only gigs that YG stopped the girls from attending. We're all aware that Lisa represents luxurious brands like Celine and Bulgari, but she hasn't attended many fashion events during the time she was under YG. There's a notable incident where Lisa traveled to Paris for a Bulgari event but wasn't permitted to go by YG. They claimed it was due to pandemic safety, even though other members attended events there at the same time and mingled with fans. Plus, Lisa was already in Paris, so there was literally no reason for her not to go. Even the CEO of Bulgari expressed disappointment at her absence at the event, revealing that YG told Lisa not to go. Most recently, Jisoo didn't attend a Cartier event in Florence even though she was invited and her schedule was clear, and she couldn't attend a Dior event in Greece back in 2021 either, and fans blamed it all on the company. YG couldn't even use the excuse that they're busy because, let's be honest, they had nothing else to do, at least not Blackpink related. Fashion magazines like Harper's Bazaar Thailand, Nylon China, and Vogue Thailand had also publicly spoken out against YG in the past, criticizing the company for being hard to reach and making unreasonable demands when it came to booking Lisa. Mind you, these are just the magazines that have been vocal about YG. It's crazy to think about all the people who reached out to the girls for collaborations or photo shoots that the members might have wanted to do but had to deal with YG being unnecessarily difficult instead. This doesn't make sense in the slightest, as every opportunity to promote the girls should have been welcomed. Yet, YG kept them in the basement, only letting them out for the occasional comeback or activities related to the brands they were ambassadors of. Even then, as we explained, YG comes up with some ridiculous excuses as to why the girls can't attend the events of the brands they're bound to represent. It's also said that the company blocked some collaborations for the members. Korean and even international artists have expressed the desire to collaborate with the girls in musical projects and have been very vocal about it as well. Rosé is the member that has received the most invitations to collaborate. Akmu, IU, PH1, Red Velvet's Joy, and Gallant, among others, had all expressed that they wanted to work with Rosé, and we're guessing that there management contacted Rosé to secure a collab but never got through to YG. Pharrell, Little Mix, Benny Blanco, Steve Aoki, Usher, and many artists have talked about wanting to collaborate with Blackpink as well. You'd think that this would make YG scramble to contact these artists and secure collaborations that would get the girls' names out there, but due to their incompetence, this never happened. Karol G also almost collaborated with them, but things ended up falling through. Back in 2020, Karol G created a fresh remix of Tusa, a track on which she collaborated with Nicki Minaj. Karol G had wanted Blackpink to join in for this version and intended to send the song to Korea for a collaboration. Sadly, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this plan was disrupted and Karol G's hope of working together with the members didn't happen. While we can't blame the company for the pandemic, we can blame them for not reaching out to Karol G after the pandemic and making the remix happen. Blackpink already have some impressive collaborations under their belt, so it's not like these were crucial to the group's popularity, nor are we saying that they should have released only collabs. But if the girls wanted to grow artistically through working with other artists and releasing songs in styles they weren't used to, there was no downside in the company letting them do this. Actually, it would have grown their popularity as well, so there would have been nothing to lose. Speaking of YG not letting them become better artists, let's talk about the amount of songs that have been recorded and scrapped and not been allowed to release. It doesn't help YG's case that they've been very vocal about wanting to release more songs and perform more, yet they were never able to. And why did that happen, you might ask? Well, the answer is YG Entertainment. We all remember Jennie's iconic "I want to do like 10 more songs if I had any." Not to mention the fact that she has already shared her plans to release a full solo album this year, an announcement which came only days after she made it public that she had started her own company. Up to that point, she had released one song back in 2018 and released another one a few months before her contract with YG was up, which gave the impression that YG released it just to keep Jennie from leaving. It says a lot that she has already made plans to release a lot more music the second she got out of there. Jennie has also expressed that she writes and works on music on her spare time, whether that be writing or composing, so to think that those songs never saw the light of day is just revolting. Rosé is also one of the members who seems to have been held back by the company in terms of releasing music. She really loves making music, as you can often catch her singing, mostly covers, playing instruments, or writing songs in her free time. Considering all this, the fact that she used to be part of the company that doesn't let her do this was pretty sad. She did say that her goal for 2024 is to release more music, so now that she has enough freedom to do what she wants, that might come true for the first time in her career. It's kind of crazy though that the agency had two artists who could play instruments, write, compose, sing, and rap, and who wanted to release more music than anything, yet they didn't let them do any of it. In fact, the company made it nearly impossible for them to show their skills to the world and was okay with letting everyone live with the idea that they were uninterested in being artists. Who knows what Lisa and Jisoo can do behind the scenes, what skills they have that weren't shown anywhere just because YG didn't give them a chance to. Thankfully, now that they're out, we can see the four of them display their full artistic skills in any way they can. How do you feel about the situation? Let us know in the comments.